Hey, what is happening, trainers? My name is TamezTech, and today we're going to be looking at some more Open Great League battles in the new Season 23 of Pokemon Go Battle League. This is my second video, so if you guys like the first, then you'll probably like this one too. We are taking a look at a bunch of battles I did the same day, the first day. We were running Venusaur, TOGEKISS, and Shadow K9 in the back. I did mess a little bit with the layout of the team. I was running it more of like an ABA weak to rock type team, but that wasn't really picking up the leads I wanted with TOGEKISS, so I put Venusaur in the lead with the new buffed Sludge being added to its move pool. Really good move for Venusaur. TOGEKISS, as you guys will see, Aura Sphere is one of the most broken moves in the game at the moment, so TOGEKISS definitely puts in some work. And finally, Shadow K9 with the new straight 4 pacing for Weather Ball. Insanely good. So without any further to say, let's go check out these battles and you guys will see what I'm talking about with these new pacing for these Pokemon. Really amazing stuff we got to see today. So let's go ahead and check it out. Once again, the layout was a little bit different at the beginning, so we will make some adjustments as we go. But we are running Ember, Weather Ball, and Psyshock on the K9 here. The Cradily does throw on alignment, which is pretty common for Cradily users to do. They want to get that debuff off right away. It does give us a little bit of an energy lead, and I do farm up to the back-to-back here, noticing that the double Weather Ball will knock out, right? It doesn't. I was so confident when I made that play, but it still didn't. So now I have to catch a Rock Tomb on Venu. I haven't seen Confusion in so long that I actually throw my move wrong. And as you can see by my moveset there as well, I forgot to TM the Venusaur. So everything's going terribly wrong on the first game of the day, which we will lose, by the way, spoiler alert. But we do have a lot of energy from that K9. They throw the Thunder Punch. I try to snipe with TOGEKISS. They throw the Thunder Punch right away, which is really bad for us. Corviknight comes in, so we're a little bit confident. We can throw out these Aura Spheres like crazy, and we resist Sand Attack. But as you can see, for some strange reason, probably due to the fact that we're in really low elo and the season just started, this Corviknight's actually running Air Slash, which is definitely going to be extremely detrimental for us here. And yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take this game. We're going to go ahead and exit out of there, save our K9 if we can. And let's go to the game number 2, see if we start finally realizing that this layout is really not the layout we want. We see Dedenne in the lead, which isn't terrible. We can throw these Weather Balls right before their boost, so they shield. Unfortunately, we have to shield back because this move will probably put us extremely low, right? Almost in a farm down state. So now they can actually tank the move and we can't. We try for a catch on Venu, get responded with Trevenant. Not terrible. Now with this new Sludge pacing, we can kind of fight back here. Unfortunately, I do miscount a little bit. I thought this was one short, it was not. And then I come in with my K9 and I miscount once again the exact same problem. We're at back-to-back Weather Ball. I'm pretty confident this is a Seed Bomb. It is not. So we just leave the game there. We need to change something. We need to do some work for this team. And I believe, yeah, here's where we start. We get Altaria in the lead. Absolutely ridiculous for us. With this new pacing though, we can throw the Sludge, do some decent damage that will 3-shot, and swap into TOGEKISS. They swap into Steelix, but this Steelix is running Dragon Tail, and as we talked about in the last video, Dragon Tail sucks. Dragon Tail is fucking terrible. So now, they're throwing the Breaking Swipe, which once again, really crazy. I just don't understand why they did that to Breaking Swipe, but we actually take Switch from a Steel type as a Fairy Flying type. They bring in Caesar, so that's a little bit scary of a farm down to give over. I'll swap over to Venu. We do get this Sludge. We survive the Sky Attack, so there's non-Shadow Venu for you. And this Altaria is extremely low, so I can either farm it all the way down with my TOGEKISS, or just do enough damage and get to the Psyshock that I can force a shield or a knockout here. And they have 2 shields, but we have Ember, and this is double super effective damage, so the Caesar is never going to reach 3 moves no matter what. So we kind of played for the alignment there, and it pays off really, really well for us. Next lead, Corviknight, completely fully walled, double resisted all the way. This trainer was, I don't understand if they were lagging or not. The game can be a little bit awkward sometimes with the animations, if they're happening or not, so I just kept tapping. I was on stream a little bit distracted, so since they're the first battles of the season, people aren't really too worried about, getting the moves through or whatever. We're all kind of trolling, experimenting with new Pokemon, so nothing too crazy here. We are able to take switch from the Corviknight. We see MP there actually, so throwing on alignment can sometimes be pretty good. Salazzle comes in with Ember, or I believe that was actually some type of poison jab. Yeah, poison jab. Thankfully we have Psyshock for this, and as you can see at the bottom left of the screen, the pacing for Psyshock is also insanely good with the new Ember, right? So we can knock out the Salazzle, Vaporeon comes in, and I'm not really BMing here. I will throw the Sludge just because I want to see how much damage it does. I know Vaporeon is a pretty tanky Pokemon, relatively. But yeah, here you can kind of see that these battles aren't too serious yet. We're not in high elo. We ended up in the 3100s last season, so we might be a little bit spoiled with what we see. We see a go-go here, 1300 CP. Thankfully, I do know that we wall this. I know that it runs Brick Break, it runs Leaf Blade, so all of the movesets are going to be walled. Surprisingly, we are at half HP, and you'd be wondering why if Vine Whip is double resisted. Well, this go-go is running Extra Sensory, which I believe is an extremely, extremely terrible move. So it does get us a little bit low. They bring in Heracross, double super effective Pex, does an insane amount of damage. And in the back, they have their one singular real Pokemon this game, which is Dedenne. Unfortunately, it looks like our opponent here might have rage quitted. I believe this usually happens when they force close the app. Again, I just don't understand why you would do that. You're running 3 extremely poorly optimized Pokemon, and 2 of them are just like not meta at all. So a little bit weird for me there, but nonetheless, we do take that game. Goodra lead, a little bit scary. New Dragon Breath pacing does let them get to moves pretty fast, but this is a little too fast, trainer. This is just an Aqua Tail. We do wall the conventional moveset with Goodra, since they have Aqua Tail, Thunder Punch, and Power Whip occasionally. So we wall all 3 of those moves. Nothing would threaten that isn't Draco Mirror. Once again, they throw their energy a little early there. They just throw the Aqua Tail, so I guess they weren't interested in getting a Thunder Punch or claiming a shield, which is good for me because they come in with a complete wall to my energy, and that is Cresselia. So Cresselia comes in. Unfortunately, Aura Sphere and Psyshock are resisted, but Aura Sphere is the more efficient move to throw, and we just throw there to kind of burn the timer a little bit. I know K9 walls the conventional moveset against Cresselia, so I bring it in, get an energy lead. This Weather Ball will knock out the Goodra, and at this point, they're low enough that I believe I can farm them all the way down and come out with residual energy for the backline. So let's see what they bring in. They bring in the Crest. We throw right away just so we don't take some extra damage that we might not need to. We get to the second Weather Ball here. I don't believe this will be enough to KO, so we swap into Venu, try to catch that Grass Knot. Scared it might be a future sight, but they didn't have the energy yet, so we're good. And in the back is Lapras. So I believe we had a little bit of a chance with what we had of our K9, but that would have been a little bit close, so thankfully we saved our Venu there in the beginning. Lurantis, we do somewhat wall it with Venu, but we also wall it with TOGEKISS, and we wall it better, right? So we have answers to this on our entire team. I kind of want to bait something out here, see what I can do with my Togetic. We bait out another Psychic type. I don't understand who's running Slowking in this meta. But I guess they're showing off their 2022 Slowking outfit, which I guess it's decent enough. We bring in Venu, we're taking a lot of damage from these confusions, but I believe we can survive the Psychic, get to the Frenzy Plant before the Confusion registers, and now we have 2 Shield Shadow K9 in the back to deal with this Lurantis and whatever else they have back there. So let's farm up some energy, shield this move since it could be a superpower, but they leave Blade. They have Belly Bolt in the back. Now I make a crucial misplay here. I know my second Weather Ball's not going to knock out, right? So ideally, I should have waited for them to throw their energy since they're going to buff themselves again, and then overfarm and CMP tie them at the next 5 Thunder Shocks so I can come out with the most amount of energy. Thankfully though, we know Lurantis was dry. As long as we come out with a Weather Ball from that matchup, we win. But there are little things that we can do to optimize our gameplay every day. On to the next battle here. Empoleon lead. Ironically, both of the teams I've built for this new rotation are extremely weak to this Pokemon. And if you guys didn't know, this Pokemon is basically the new champion of this meta. Empoleon is just extremely strong. They answer our Kanto Ninetales safe switch with a K-Whack, which is a little weird since this Pokemon usually doesn't run Bone Club anymore. And they didn't throw any energy into us, which I was really surprised about. But they do throw the Bone Club. We throw the Resisted Weather Ball, which should knock out at this point. So they let it go, come in with Empoleon, and they don't get the farm down. That's where IVs come in. 2, 14, 12 for this Shadow K9. We get the Weather Ball off, and unfortunately they banked it all on our D-Knight in the back when we have a Togekiss, so we just take that game pretty easily. Carbink lead, one of the biggest Pokemon in this season as well. Very problematic for us. But we catch their counter swap with Golisopod. We catch an X-Scissor on our Togekiss, and because of that, we can actually take the X-Scissor, take the Aqua Jet, and fully farm down the Golisopod before they get to a second threatening move. So we don't go down shields, we come out with a bunch of energy. These 2 Aura Spheres are going to easily put Carbink into Frenzy Plant range. So now we just have to wonder what's in the back. We do have back-to-back Frenzy Plants here. Unfortunately, we CMP'd there. I should have thrown as soon as I spawned in. That way we wouldn't have gone down a shield before them. But thankfully it is a Corviknight in the back. Ironically, K9 is probably one of the few Pokemon that could actually genuinely outpace Corviknight to like threatening moves. So we take the payback, we throw the Weather Ball, and here I make a little bit of a funny play. They're extremely low, but they're not low enough since I haven't gotten that Ember through. So I shield this, make sure I get that Ember through, and at this point the Corviknight is just way too low to even resist the Vine Whips from my Venusaur. So we go ahead and take that down as well. On to the next game here. We're starting to see, once again, a weird pattern. You'll realize this Pokemon is extremely dumb, weak, and ugly. Poor Electabuzz is not really going to have any coverage moves into us, I believe. I believe Electivire can run Flamethrower since it's its Community Day move, but this Pokemon, unfortunately, with the Thunder Punch, not going to do much against us. They do bring Houndoom in, and that's a little bit of a scary Pokemon, so I'm going to swap out into my Togekiss. I don't really want to concede the farm down. The pacing on this Pokemon is really terrible though, so we're able to CMP tie them. Make sure we get rid of them right here. I don't want to deal with a crunch on my K9 later. And they bring in Hitmonlee, so we throw the Psyshock, we take this game. Really strange team by my opponent there. But we're able to take the game, go on to the next, hopefully get some more competitive battles here and there. We do get Mandibus lead. This is decently competitive. This Pokemon did not receive practically any changes other than Aerialace getting nerfed to oblivion. So it is a little strange that they bring in Mandibus here, especially because it's just such a top meta Pokemon. It's pretty boring. Same with Clodsire. Not really any difference with these Pokemon. So I guess this trainer is just trying to concentrate on playing top meta stuff. They do allow us to get to 2 Psyshocks with our Togekiss. So I believe my Togekiss has done plenty of work here. It's gotten the Clodsire into Frenzy Plant range, and it's also gotten a shield. for some reason the Claude didn't throw their energy before I got to my second Psyshock and force a shield out of me or a knockout. We do shield the Earthquake, keep some energy on Venusaur since it might be pretty useful in the back, and we do take advantage of this. Now, Manibus throws her Air Ace here. The counting was a little bit peculiar for me. I'm usually more used to Air Slash. We throw the Psyshock here. Big mistake. Once again, the same problem that we had with the Cradily before and with the Belly Bolt. If we're not confident the move is going to knock out, we should just overfarm. We're going to have to shield anyways, right? So thankfully we're still able to take this game. Once again, Shadow K9 is ridiculous, but we could have played that a lot more efficient, not had our Pokemon literally both in the red health against the Flyer, but we're still able to take that game, thankfully. Let's see if we start playing a little bit better here. Venusaur into Lantern. Not really much you can do there, and my opponent makes the strangest play ever. They swap in a Gastrodon into a Grass type. Double super effective Vine Whips put them into basically half HP before I bring in my Togekiss. Now at this point, I know that my Togekiss can take 2 Body Slams. These Mud Slaps aren't going to do much damage, so I'm just going to farm up to back, see what they want to do. They're going to let that go, and they bring in A-Slash. So very unfortunate alignment for my opponent here. We basically just completely RPS them, very cookie cutter stuff. We bring in Venusaur into Lantern. The exact same problem happens again. I throw my energy a little bit too early. This is fine though. We don't want to give a massive farm down to that Alolan Sandslash, right? So we're at the back-to-back Frenzies. For some reason they shield us first, but to be fair, they had to shield one anyways, since you'll see that 2 will knock out. And now that we bring in K9, we still have both of our shields in play, so we're able to shield both of these moves, regardless of the bait or not. And yeah, we take that game pretty easily there, but yeah, a little unfortunate for my opponent. I believe this opponent was just trolling. Yeah, a little strange there. You usually see people trolling and tanking when it's like gobattleleague or something, right? But I guess people just have fun, right? Weird lead with K-Wack. We take neutral Mud Slaps. Thankfully, it's not the Shadow, but they always throw an alignment. This type of player always throws with on alignment with K-Wack. So we're gonna go ahead and disrespectfully bait them with a double resisted Sludge, and then catch a Bone Club on our Togekiss. They're playing this a little bit weird, right? You usually wouldn't keep a grass type, a ground type onto a grass type. So let's try to bait something out. We do bait out an Azumarill, which is really, really good for our K9, right? We kind of want to clear the way for K9 at this point, since we're kind of a little bit low on health on Venu, and we're kind of baiting out something with our Togekiss, right? Here I combo. I should have thrown the Sludge. Sludge would have knocked out. So since I didn't throw the Sludge, my pacing is a little bit worse, so I'm going to let Venusaur go. At this point, I still need my Togekiss to deal with this Azu, right? So I'm going to bring it back in. Azu's staying, which is good for me. We have a lot of energy here. Unfortunately, the Psyshock doesn't knock out. They stay at 1 HP. Very, very unlucky there. And thankfully I do shield that move because it's a Cradily in the back, so if we were permanently debuffed with our K9 onto this Cradily, we'd be in a lot of trouble. Now you'd think catching a Rock Tomb here is not a great idea, right? But we still have that K-Wack in the back, and we have to deal with it somehow. So thankfully to the 4 pacing on K9, we're able to get a Weather Ball onto the K-Wack, knock it out, and we had the Aura Sphere on our Togekiss to knock out the Cradily. So very well played there. I'm proud of myself. On to the next one here. We got Como-O lead. A little bit tricky, right? My K9 doesn't want to see this particularly. They throw their move right away. I'm guessing it's probably not Clanging Scales, but I panic, I shield, and I get the call right. Now they're debuffed. They take a Sludge. So I throw a Vine Whip and snipe with Togekiss. We bait out an Empoleon, which is an extremely, once again, problematic Pokemon for this team, but trainer, what are you doing? They take the Aura Sphere, maybe not familiar with the new movesets, so now we've practically completely neutralized this Empoleon. I decided I want an energy lead on my K9 since they've been pretty strong to it, and lo and behold, Steelix in the back, pretty weak to K9 here. These weather balls are going to put in some work against them. So yeah, once we land one, we catch with Venusaur. This should be a Psychic Fangs, but yeah, we end up catching the Earthquake. We survive, thankfully, since it's the non-Shadow Venu. Get the Frenzy Plant off, force the shield. Opponent tries for a cheeky play there, knocking out Venusaur, but it ends up being a Simul swap. And we just take that game. So yeah, that's the end of the battles. I hope you guys enjoyed those battles. Honestly, I'm really excited for TOGEKISS in this meta. But I think Shadow K9 took the cake today. Nonetheless, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's get to the question of the day. And the question is, how did your first day battles go? As you can see, mine went a little bit rocky at first, but these are the same battles from yesterday, from yesterday's video, sorry. And as you saw yesterday, I got a 26 win streak, so these two teams did pretty well. Are you hopeful for the rest of the season, or are you a little bit scared of the future? Honestly, I don't know, but I would say the latter. Regardless, if you want to watch these battles live, come by to my Twitch channel. If you want to hang out, come by to my Discord. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and leave me some feedback down below so I can improve these videos for you guys. Nonetheless, have a good one. Bye bye.